All right, what up, everybody? We are back. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Despise podcast. Today we have a really cool episode. I'm here with my friend Jack Vtg on Instagram, and yeah, we're gonna chop it up. We got a lot of stuff to cover, and yeah, thanks for tuning in. We're just gonna get right into it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, bro. So wait, so when do you go to that?
Wednesday.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like it is like a rag house, like straight up, like.
Yeah.
But then again, they go through another step of organizing it. So you'll see everything organized, like t-shirts with t-shirts, like jackets with jackets, like flannels with flannels. Like everything will be organized. So like they organize it kind of already, and I guess that's why like they're like charging more. Honestly, they have a good idea, like to be a middleman, to be like not rag house, but open up to other people.
Yeah.
I just can't help but think like. When you look at other stores like in Atlanta, like what's that one store, Vintage Warehouse?
Yeah.
Like, bro, where are they getting all that stuff from?
They have a rack. They run they basically do the same thing, but they sell like firsthand.
Oh, so they're like
they have
a rag house.
they have a rag house basically. Like they have one in I think Miami that they run like all of their stuff out of or something like that. Yeah. At least Clothing Warehouse does, I'm pretty sure, and that's how they get a lot of stuff. But they just go firsthand to consumer. This place,
that would make sense.
But this place sells to like GCI sells to a lot of places.
Oh,
like
I bet. I mean,
like a lot of stores even here that shop there, and
really,
yeah. I just am hoping that. I don't know. I just am excited to go there.
No, yeah, and you'll probably like get good stuff. Like there was always some good stuff there that we got. Like
I feel like I always hear, anytime I hear mixed reviews about a place, I'm always interested to go because I always know that I'm looking for way different stuff than most people.
For sure.
So there's like the, yeah, like I know some people, like I've told some people I'm going and they're like, oh yeah, I've been there, I didn't find much stuff. I'm like, okay, well, like.
No, like with the time we went, like I said, we only went one time, so I don't know if it's like this every time, but like we found like a 60 sweat. Like obviously that rap tee, and then we found like Grateful Dead tee. We found like another band shirt, I think. Like or it was like a liquid blue shirt, like a random liquid blue shirt.
Dang.
But then everything else was just like normal stuff, like just like bread and butter stuff.
Yeah.
So I mean, like it ended up panning out for us pretty well. Like you know, it wasn't. It didn't. It was a risk that we took at the time, but I don't think it's that big of a risk.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like. I mean. I definitely want to spend more than the minimum if there's enough stuff, like, because I'm trying to get, like, I want to get, like, a lot of stuff, because, like, I'm trying to eliminate the having to drive and find stuff and, like, spend money on gas and just, like, you know, it just takes a lot of time to find a lot of stuff. Like,
no, definitely.
Especially when you're moving a lot of stuff. It's
right.
It's no, like, point to...
Yeah, you can't just go pick it all. Like, you can't. Like,
and there's like a science to this shit. Like, like at least everyone has their own science to it. Just figuring out how to like get your own sauce right and your own vision and your own what's it called? Just like being true to yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
Or just like
totally, bro.
Your gift, and then always relate this back to. I was just asking him if y'all go to church and stuff, because like I always feel that around y'all is like just that like gift from, like I don't know what it is.
No, definitely.
It's like
100%.
I like really believe in God, and that God gave me a gift for whatever this is. To I don't know if it's something that's supposed to help the world, or like if this is just the way that I'm like supposed to be in the world to like help it is with clothes, or like what it is really. But I don't know. I just try to. I feel like I'm so blessed to be like in any type of situation. Right?
No, definitely.
Like there's nothing I can really ever be mad about right now, like, or upset about. I try to think, because like I know it's a privilege to like to be in this life that I am right now.
100%. I think that's something that we've realized too. Like even though we've gone through like that big slump that we had in like October, right? Like, super down. We were like, dude, like how like we're gonna have to like really think about like how we're gonna budget differently to like make up for this. But just to even like sit back, even in that hard time, like we can still pay ourselves, whatever, and like we are still like deciding our schedule. Like we don't belong to anybody else necessarily in terms of work. Like no one else is like controlling us, saying like, no, you have to work from these hours to these hours. If you don't, you're not gonna get paid. If you can't do that, then you can't buy food, whatever. Yeah. So it's like even like that's been a reminder that like I hold on to. It's like, dude, at the end of the day, like to be able to do this and like even just support yourself, like that's like, dude, that's a blessing, bro.
It's a blessing.
It's a blessing, and it's a privilege, and it's like, bro, it's honestly it's fun. It's a good thing.
I always just like, bro, you really just have to be so thankful that you have like this gift to do this stuff. Like, not everybody sees the world the way you see it, or is going to like understand it
right
the way that you understand it. So that's what I feel like. If you're gonna like whatever I feel like a lot of people talk about like making it or whatever making it is to them. I feel like it's more, what is it to you? Because in my mind I feel like I already have kind of like, I don't really, now it's like I just want to meet new people.
Right.
Like I feel like I've done everything that I can do up until this point to put myself in like a good position to like do like, or just to meet other people that like to do this too, or are very passionate about it, I guess.
For sure. No, it's a super fun thing to be in, and like that's especially for this. It's like I love the community aspect of it. Like I feel like that's totally. I mean, this could be it for any job. I feel like, because I've only had one other job before this, like in high school. Yeah. I worked at like Jersey Mike's or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I worked at Firehouse Subs.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, something about like a sub shop. It's just a good first job, bro. But like even there, like we were able to like, I worked actually with my brother, believe it or not, but we were able to like still build like a little community like at our store. Right? Like at like, whether between customers, definitely between coworkers, like we had this whole thing, and I just feel like that made, everything so much better. Like, dude, nobody wanted to come and make sandwiches all day, but like, because like we were together, like it was cool. And I feel like the same thing is almost with, I say like vintage clothing, but it could really honestly be like any profession. Like if you have people around you that you enjoy and that like make it better, like that's like a whole other thing. It makes whatever you're doing like that much more enjoyable.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to make, is because I feel like it doesn't. Okay, I'm gonna relate this maybe to like the type of friends that I have, right?
Okay.
I feel like I have such different types of friends. Like I have people that are like, accountants or make music or artists, or just like really anything. Like it could be anything. I feel like I can get along with anyone that is passionate about something, or like really is in tune with like what they're supposed to be doing with their life, or maybe not what you're supposed to be doing, but more like what like figuring out your purpose, like on your path to your purpose, or like, and I always like am gonna go back and say that having faith in God too is important, because definitely. Like the more you put your issues and problems, like you're not gonna be able to solve all this shit on your own. Like,
no, definitely.
There's a lot of times that you have to just give it up to that and understand that it's part. Like you have to be like like the hardness of the process, like, and just enjoy that process. Cause
definitely.
I don't really know where we were talking about.
I don't know how
about community, but
yeah.
I think the community is important. Like totally. I think any profession there's going to be community. For sure, though.
Definitely. I just think it's something so different about like the vintage community, right? Like I know you've like experienced like the whole bins community. Yeah. Because at first it can almost seem like the vintage community can almost seem a little like abrasive, like a little rigid, like a little like like gatekeeping, like I don't know if I'm welcome here.
Yeah.
But I feel like everyone has to start at that point. Like I remember the first time I started going to like the bins that I spent a lot of time at, I was like I was like scared of talking to anybody. I feel like they were all looking at me like, dude, this dude's taking everything, like for sure. And like I would just chill by myself. I wouldn't be like,
The bins culture is crazy because I lived in Columbus.
Yeah.
So like, there's a bins in Columbus, Georgia. If you're listening to this or whatever, but the whole I like to attribute bins culture to flex culture.
Okay.
Because I feel like all the bins is just people flexing clothes. But this is the thing I think about a lot, right? when you're first starting, that's all you know and that's all you see. So it's like everyone's gonna do that. It's like a phase of vintage, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
it's definitely a phase.
I always think it's so funny that like bro, you're like flexing clothes is so crazy to me because really anyone else that doesn't sell clothes that's gonna buy your clothes, bro, they do not care about
bro.
you flexing
No,
your clothes.
it's totally a community thing, bro.
It's a community thing.
It's totally just a community thing.
And if you want to sell to other people that are not like vintage sellers, then you have to find a way to make it feel like you're not selling used clothes to them.
Totally. Dude, I remember when we first started doing pop-ups, we would have like good stuff, like and it would go from like one seller to like another seller to like another seller.
That still happens today.
It's insane the way because stuff passed around. It's because a lot of people look at it with that lens of like the flex lens or whatever. Exactly. But it's just like, bro, most of the people who are gonna buy stuff from you aren't they might like vintage clothes, but they're not like tapped in about like what tag this is and like what T and like what also, licensing company, like, bro.
See, this is why when you like I always say you do a good job of the uniform pricing because you just like train people. Not I shouldn't say that, but
I mean it is kind of like get people used to that. Like,
get people used to a price because not everyone's gonna be like not everyone's trying to buy something or like trying to haggle you on price. It's like most people like are just wanting to get something cool and get something that's going to make them feel more cool, and you've helped them in that process become a different person or become more of like the like I always think that I always feel so good when I sell clothes like I don't try to attribute the money to clothes because everything happens when it's supposed to happen. Like everything's gonna happen, the money and everything will like come together at a time where you're like, okay, this is why it's coming together now and not before because like your vision maybe not all the way there yet. And that's why I think a lot of kids that are first starting selling clothes, they're probably not like they're doing pop-ups and stuff, probably not selling that much stuff because they're just selling what they think is cool, what they see and stuff.
Exactly.
And it takes a long time and a lot of hours, I feel like, to truly get into like what you're meant to do in this game or I don't know what it is or life.
No, totally. You definitely got to put in those hours to realize. And it's like the whole, like we talked about, like the whole phase thing. Like I was totally in that. I would go to the bins and like hope I would get something to take like the bins pick with it laid out on the bins, tag like bit stitch in it, and be like, bro, hope they repost me. Like I remember that whole phase, but it's just like it's working through that, and it's like it's one of the things that you have to like experience, go through, live in, and be like, okay, like I'm trying to like, what's the next level of this? And then go from there, and like it's just hours. Like.
And it's cool. It's like that's just like once you do it for a long time, you realize like. That's just how it is, man. Like, most of the people, and, okay, here's something that is, I talk to some of my friends about, is that there's 3 things in vintage clothing or in fashion, right? You're either a vintage seller that sells vintage. I'm trying to think how he describes this. A vintage seller that sells vintage, or you dwindle between vintage and fashion, or you're in fashion, and there's like it's really hard to be in between those 3. And a lot of people you never know what you're gonna transition into because it's like you don't know what like maybe your path is selling shirts or maybe like never like I never. Think like this person just sells shirts or whatever, like maybe that's what they really like to do and maybe that's like what they're supposed to do and that's cool. And like I just know that I see more than I don't want to just sell vintage to sell vintage. Like I want to sell clothes, like just because I know I think I want to like help people through that.
Definitely. And I think that alone, like that desire, because I've totally been many times where I've put something on and like I've seen how it like changed me, like the way I go about my whole day.
No, for sure.
Based on what I have on, right? Yeah. Like whether it be like a bad fit, I'm like, dude, bro, I'm not trying to like talk to no one because I don't like my fit. Like low key, that's like I felt that feeling, but also like extremely confident. Like, bro, I'm so much more confident because what I have on right now.
No, yeah.
So like like doing that and to be able to think that like, you could do that for a person is a really cool thought. It's not a thought that I think everybody has, but I think that is like a really special thought. And I think by doing that, yeah, like you're less concerned about what this thing is, what that thing is, like the specifics of it, and you're just more. It's like you're less materialistic with it,
yeah.
And you're just kind of sold on this idea of. And I think that's more of a fashion idea, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I just think that like vintage is like an easy way to just get into fashion as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. It's a cheap way.
It's a cheap way, totally
cheaper way.
Yeah.
And everyone's heard that you can't buy style. So, but that is so true, man. Like, there's very few people that are like, you know what I'm saying? They're given that gift of like being able to go into somewhere and be like, oh, I like find a bunch of things and know how to like sell them. And also, not everyone can sell things that you can sell. Like, there's frame everything. It matters how you frame stuff too. Or just like
totally
trying to sell stuff that is framed a certain way, or you know, like, or if you put this with that in your setting, it's not going to work. But if you put it in my setting, it'll work. Or something like that.
100%. I mean, I remember I go to the bins nowadays, and like when I go to the bins, no one can be hitting like they're like, oh, dude, it's whack. But then like I'll have like a cart full of like just random stuff, like and I'll have a cart full of like blazers and like just like random like 80s and 90s like pinstripe slacks. And they're like, bro, you sell blazers? I'm like, bro, like all day, like blazers all day. People love blazers, but it's just like like the person who just sells like vintage, you know, whatever that is, like can't really sell like a blazer because like I don't know, it's just different. It's totally the way you frame things.
Yeah, for sure. And I think maybe segueing into that is like, if you really want to do this shit and be good at it, do you have to think about the smallest, tiniest aspects of this, down to everything that you wear, everything you put on your body. It's not just about like the I don't know, let's say like everyone puts on pants, a t-shirt, and socks every day, and shoes. But like everything else matters too, and attention to detail is important as well. Yeah. And just like, you know, just I don't know. I just think the people that I know, when you get to, I don't even know if it's like a certain level, but you know, when you just get to like where you're meeting like this, you know, same people that are have that same purpose or same path, you know, it takes time, but when you start meeting those people, you understand that all of them are good. Everyone is good. Like, everyone's so good that you're like, oh, like for a long time before you get to that point, you're like, you don't realize like, I don't know. I was telling someone for so long, I felt like I was fighting some imaginary like force. Like I was mad at like something, but I don't even know what I was mad about. Yeah. But I think that's just what it like. I don't know. Anger fuels productivity for me. Maybe I don't know.
I think there's some validity to that point. I think there's some. I mean, I feel like I've been in the point where I've seen like, oh, like. I mean, I've kind of been. I remember what like even like made me want to like do the website thing was like seeing Unsound Rags at the time, like back in like 2019, being like, bro, they sell this for like this much. Yeah. And then I'm like, why do they do that? Why are people buying these? I'm like, well, it's because of like everything else they do. Yeah. It's like how they frame it, like how they do that. So I'm like, okay, like being like ignorant in that. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna just do that. But it's like obviously it's like a lot. Like that's not an easy thing to do. Yeah. But like seeing that 100%, like that totally, I was like, bro, what in the world? And like I'm just like, dude, I can do that. Like I can do that. Like like to think I couldn't do that, and like I have to just like do pop-ups and like sell stuff on Grail for like $10-15. Like I'm just like, what? Like, you know. And so I think that definitely motivates. And another thing I wanted to ask, because I know you kind of work with somebody, your partner Travis. Yeah. And I would, because we get a lot of questions, like a lot of DMs being like, yo, like this is my situation, and like I want to get it like this, or like how do I start like doing this, like with website stuff. And like one thing I think a lot of people sleep on is the whole aspect of a partner.
Yeah.
And I think just how like important that is, and I know you have some experience with that, and I feel like you could shed some light on that.
Yeah, so right now I kind of do everything on my own, and that's not like anything that happened.
Right.
Travis is like literally my best friend, and we did work together for a long time, and you know I just moved and stuff, so it's been a little harder. But like before, Travis is like, me and him were doing pop-ups together since like the very first pop-up I ever did was with Travis. And before I did a pop-up with Travis, I was doing pop-ups at a flea market selling clothes. I was just trying to sell clothes.
At the flea is crazy.
And yeah, Travis and me just have like always just been good friends and always work well together.
Yeah.
And he's good at a lot of things I'm not good at. Travis is very smart, and you know, I think like if it makes sense in your situation to work with someone, like I don't feel like not everyone is easy to work with, but like for us it was just like we always just had been like really close and like brothers really. Yeah. Like so it was like, I don't know, it just worked for us. Like that was just we always just like fed off of each other and did stuff together, and like, you know, we still talk like every day just about clothes, really, just what he finds and what I find, and you know, just like it, like I don't know, we still work, like, you know, if Travis ever needs anything or ever wants to do pop-ups with me, like he can come whenever, or like anything like that. But now I feel like he's in school still, and you know he's going to school, so he's busy a lot, and
that makes sense.
Like he's he's just a special kid, man. Like he's definitely gonna do some really crazy things, and he's getting into like more, like, you know, he likes a lot of like, I don't know. I think Travis would be like the next like what's it called, American Picker or something.
Yeah,
like
I saw him get those signs.
Yeah,
and I saw his Instagram. He found it on Google Earth.
Bro, he's crazy.
That's insane,
bro. He's
all right. So for those who don't know, bro. Dude, this dude. Okay. Also, what's his Instagram? Do you know his Instagram? His
Instagram is C_town vintage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if you're watching this, go follow him for sure. But yeah, he made the post where he was like, had the screenshot of the Google Earth thing, saw like an old sign from the 40s. Yeah. And what he pulled up.
Yeah, he's crazy, man.
To the address and asked him, and he got the sign.
Yeah, he got the sign.
He cleaned it up, and it's like a 1940s, like what, like gas sign or something like that.
Dude, I'm telling you,
this is insane.
He is crazy. Like, he is a magnet for stuff like, and that I feel like, I don't know, I don't know, if you're like really meant to do this stuff, or I don't even know what it is really, but I feel like you find things that like you want to find, like, or like they'll just show up. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like, but he specifically, like, he just is a magnet for like whatever he wants to find, he'll find it. Like,
right.
And he's always been like that, like in anything really. And yeah, that he just has like a crazy eye for stuff, like just like anything in general. It doesn't matter like what it is. It's really anything in life. He just has an interesting eye for stuff.
That's so sick, dude. No, I mean I remember he was the first one I met too at the Columbus bins actually.
Yeah.
He came up to me and he was, I don't know what I had. I think I had like an older like random hoodie or something like that. And he wanted to come like look at it. And no, it was because I was wearing, oh bro, what was I wearing? I was wearing a Hank Williams, like an 80s Hank Williams like raglan shirt.
Yeah.
And he was like, bro, I love your shirt.
Yeah.
And like he was the first person that I met at Columbus bins.
Yeah.
He's a good dude, bro.
He loves like old country stuff.
Yeah.
He's just like, that's just anytime we go on a road trip if I go on a road trip with him, I always have to make him change the damn music. We'll be listening to like old ass country music for like 3 hours. Like, bro, I have to listen to something else.
That's so funny, bro. No, it's totally his vibe. I mean, like he definitely rocks like the bells and like country tee, and like not in like a trendy way, not in like a everyone like 70 fashions.
Nah, it's just him, bro.
It's like, just him. Like that's what he wears.
He's just like, that is literally just
like he was wearing that before it got trendy.
No, he's been wearing
it because I remember seeing him years ago. before this whole whatever state the vintage is in.
No,
now.
he's been wearing that. He's
it,
just like an old soul, bro. Like I swear, he's just like an old man trapped in a 20-year-old's body.
That's why he loves old signs and whatnot.
Yeah,
dude, that's hilarious, bro. That's so funny. All right, so for those who don't know, I'm sitting down with my friend Jack here. Valley Jack. What's your IG?
Instagram is Valley Jack Vtg.
Valley Jack Vtg.
On
there
Instagram.
You go. Georgia legend. I mean, I feel like I know a lot of people in Georgia who know you. I feel like everyone I met, they're like, I mean, I remember one time I was wearing one of the jerseys that I got from you. I was wearing it, and someone asked me if I gotten it from you. I guess I saw it in the pop-up. I was like, yeah. I was like, you know him, and whatever conversation. But yeah, super. I was like, dude, what? I was like, what in the world, bro? So I was like, yeah, like dude's been in Georgia for a minute, but I just wanted to shed some light on you and just be and just ask you where you guys start, because I know everyone else started different, got into it differently, and I'm sure you have a good story on how in the world you started this.
Well, appreciate you saying that.
I do,
but I'm trying to think where to start, man.
Yeah, right. That's probably a minute ago.
Well, I feel like maybe I'll start with ever since I was really young. My dad is a huge history nut.
Okay.
Super collects guns and knives and coins and stamps and stuff like that. So ever since I was 7, 9 years old, me and him would go to estate sales together, and we would find pocket knives and coins, and we would sell that stuff on eBay. So I feel like that was kind of my introduction to selling stuff, really.
Right.
And then moving from there, when I was 10 to maybe 13 or 14, we sold sports cards.
Okay.
And we did that whole thing for a long time. And I don't know, I was so young. I just I just always have the selling stuff, really, or just learning about something and just seeing the value in things, and just I didn't really know when I was young that's what it was, but now I see look back and see that. And then my first job ever was at an antique house in Dallas, Georgia, and I worked in the concession stand there. Okay. So every Saturday I would go and watch the antique auctions and work in the thing.
That's it.
And yeah, then I went to college, and I was always I've always liked clothes. I've always been into just, I don't know. I went to college for music, so I've always I used to play the trumpet.
Oh, fine.
So I just always have loved being creative, and
right.
I knew that I always would probably do something creative, or whether it be whatever it was, music or clothes or anything. But I feel like my outlet just ended up being clothes.
Right.
And yeah, I just was when I was in school, I was just man, I really just I need to figure out something that I can do where I actually love what I'm doing, or you have that
Definitely.
epiphany in school. I didn't go to art school or anything, but I wish when you're 18, you're so susceptible to go to college and
totally. That's
make
path.
a decision to go to college, and no one really is that's how just the world is, unfortunately. It's when you're 18, you're so naive to think
exactly what you're gonna do.
Yeah, you know exactly what you're gonna do. I'm gonna go to college and
it's a crazy
do this and that.
expectation.
But that's just life is so different than going to college and just being done. So, while I was at school, I was just I really love selling clothes. I love clothes. I want to try to do something. It just kind of started like that, and I was just I'd sell I was in a fraternity in college, and I would sell hats and stuff to them, and and then I just started I wanted to sell, I was trying to figure out ways, I didn't even know I was doing this out of just really wanting to sell clothes. I just like clothes, and I was trying to sell clothes, and I was I didn't know that a whole scene existed, or anyone was actually selling clothes that. like I really started selling clothes at the flea market. Like, oh
that's
God,
crazy.
Like, I was like at the flea market.
So who would buy clothes from you at the flea market?
Bro,
like,
just
what's that audience?
Bro, just crazy. Like, it would be so like I would be selling Carhartts to like, you know, like workers and people in construction would be there buying like Carhartt pants.
Dang, yeah.
And then there'd be like, you know, the resellers and stuff. And that's how I met. Like, even to this day, I still keep in touch with people that I met at the flea market. Like, just because like I really did not genuinely know that there was like anywhere else I could sell this stuff or like or just like try to be involved in anything. Like I was just trying to make it work. Like, and yeah, that, and then shortly, you know, after that, I met Travis kind of, and we kind of like did everything together for a long time. And, you know, just ever since then, it's been like a lot of like, learning and, you know, just trying to be surrounding myself with people that are way smarter than me. And definitely. You know, I try to not ever like think that I know everything or anything like that, because that's when you're not going to learn anymore. Or, you know,
you close yourself off.
Yeah, you close yourself off to so many things. Like, and clothes is a never-ending world. Like, there's so much for clothes. I mean,
it's
like,
always something new, something not doing well, something just a brand new thing that everyone loves. Like, it's always something new. It's crazy.
Which is like back to like, you know, now that I moved to Atlanta, I feel like I was in Columbus for a reason, and it was to grow up and figure out what I wanted to do in life, and not for any other reason other than that's the path that I was on for a long time, was to learn and teach myself like discipline down there, and to be like, and how to live life kind of like as an adult, I guess. Totally. But yeah, I grew up in Kennesaw, which is like maybe 20 minutes from where we are right now, Marietta. And like, I guess I just have like always, I don't know, man. I just want to like, I really just enjoy my life, bro. I just like, there's nothing else I'd rather do than find clothes, man. I'm just like, I think I was born just a scavenger, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, bro. That's a good way to put it, bro. Like, that's a good way to put it.
I don't know. I think like, you know, when you find something that you really like to do, there's like there's just things in life that happen for you. Like, you'll start to meet people that are supposed to be in your life, or supposed to be along like in your path and journey, and there's no like, you know, we just talked about earlier, there's no rules to this stuff, bro. Truthfully. There's no rules to business, like, other than like rudimentary things that you have to do for business, like, of course, like there's no guidelines for like how to sell clothes, or you know, no one's really gonna help you do that, because most people that do it and like and are good at it, they're like, you know, most people are really quiet about everything that they do, and that's cool. Like, but you know, for the people that are really passionate, and other people, like, I'm telling you, they're gonna recognize it when they meet you. Like, they'll know. It's just like a thing. It's like, it's not like any other kind of like feeling. It's just a feeling that, you know, like, okay, like, it could be like you just feel, and maybe it could be me, that I feel that, like, I feel things different than other people. I think like I can feel people's like energy, and you know, if it's right. I know that sounds like so like new age and like whatever, but it's true. Like, I swear, like, no, for sure, it's just like anyone that is really into something, like, you could just tell, you know, like totally. And like, I feel like that's the only thing, like, in life, that's the only thing that upsets me, is when things are going wrong with clothes, or things are like not, you know, there's been so many things that haven't worked out, but it's like, it's all just learning. Like, nothing's wrong. It's just, you know, you just got to keep learning and like, I feel like at this point, I've done so many pop-ups now that I'm just like, I feel like I know a lot. Like, I know a lot about consumerism and what people like and stuff. Right. And it's like, and really what people like is, it's not even it's anything specific now. It's just, I just have learned that it's just what I think is cool.
Dude, yeah, I was watching something. I was listening to something, but basically, fashion for the longest time has been like, oh, this one thing is a big trend.
Yeah.
You know, like this one thing has been a big trend, but now it's like there's a bunch of small trends, like a lot of like small groups of people that like this one thing, and then this small group of people will like this one thing. Like, and there's a lot of them. Yeah. So it's total. It's in a weird. I've like listened to this one thing. I thought it was really interesting the way they were describing it, but I was like, that's so true, bro. People I think are like kind of their tastes are changing, and then like they're like it's getting more okay to like kind of branch out and like, oh, I saw this one person do this one thing and like it's super cool, like that's what I'm gonna do now. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And it's I think it's like really really interesting, kind of like what you were saying. But
I think I think that's important too. When you're like, you should see things and be like, oh, I like, or you should see things and be like, oh, I like that, and try to like learn about that, because when you do that, you're just gonna keep like learning more about like who you are as a person and what you truly like and what your gift is in this. And,
for sure.
And what your I like to talk about like what's it called? Colors of life a lot.
Colors of life.
I don't know if you like. I feel like that maybe it's just something that I've made up in my head. But it's like, I don't know. There's the way that I see the world, I guess, is this certain colors. Like there's certain colors that I like I'm really drawn to, and I don't know why that is or what about like certain things is why I like them so much. Yeah. But that is like, I kind of just try to lean into that and realize like, okay, maybe this is like what my thing is, you know?
Yeah,
like
totally.
Like I don't know if that's true to you. Like,
I think that's actually kind of like true for a lot of people. Like people are like super, I think, unique. Like I think a lot of people are like that just naturally. I think a lot of people do like random things, but a lot of the times it's like it could be a little like scary, I guess, for lack of better terms, to like express that liking, express that like interest. Yeah. So I think, and it's not every day that you run into someone who really does do that well, who like really does like, no, I like this random thing and like and I like it just because I like it, like that's it. Yeah. And you know, they really do that. I mean, like think about how many people you know that just like, I know a ton of people from high school who just are like, at least on the surface, I don't want to like, you know, judge them or anything like that, but like on the outside, it just looks like their life is just so like cookie cutter. Yeah. You know, I mean, they go to college, they get this job, and like that's it, and they date this girl, and then they marry this girl, like, you know, like, and it's just like really interesting, and like I just don't, and like I know that they're into some stuff, like I know, like, dude, tell me what like that random hobby is, or like that random interest is.
That's like, bro, that's what life's supposed to be about.
Totally, 100%.
Like, and that's why, like, bro, you have to just be blessed that you're in this situation, bro. Like, yeah, or that you're able to do this on a like higher level is nice, because, bro, most people, like, that's what I'm saying. Most people don't ever get to figure out what they're here for, or you know, or be allowed that freedom to at least decide what they want to be here for, you know. And I think most people are just comfortable with living like that. Yeah, I don't know, but I read quite a bit or try to read some books, and I read one of my friends, Felix. You met Felix before?
He was at that one pop-up that you did one time.
Yeah, he's one of my good.
He's
friends.
He's like Depop crazy guy, right?
Yeah. Okay. He does the pants.
Yeah.
So Felix, he's like super big on this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh, I've heard of that, bro.
Yeah, and
dude, a lot of people like that book.
He like attributes a lot of things in his life to that book. So I read the book, and I'm like, like, if you're ever like, you know, I don't know, coming out of high school or something and need to read something, like, I would read that book to start before you go to college, like, just to like make up your mind, I don't know. I wish when I was 18, someone was like, truly think about, like, if you actually want to go and spend all this money at school, and before you go to school, because at least, like, I don't know, take a year to think about it sometimes. Definitely. Like, you don't have, like, after high school, like, there's not, like, everything is real, you know? Like, there's no rules, and college is definitely, I mean, if you want to be, I feel like if you want to be like a lawyer or a doctor or something like, you know, important. Yeah. I mean, maybe everything's important, but
just something that requires like
then you should go to school. Proper. You should go to school.
Yeah.
But nowadays, with everything you can do with technology, and especially like building something, bro, there's like, just learn how to do something, get really good at it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
Just learn something and like try to get good at it, or just figure out something, whatever your favorite thing to do is, and figure out how you can make money doing that.
Dude, literally. Like, and like, dude, in today's age, it's like, it doesn't matter where you're located, as long as you have a phone and social media, I feel like you could build up an audience that resonates with you like from anywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I think that there's so much like freedom in that now.
You can literally do whatever you want. Like, and it doesn't even, I feel like that's the thing that I realize now is like, I don't even, I think we talked about before, I know that where I am right now, online presence is like not where I want to be, but it's like I can't even care about that right now because I do so much behind the scenes of like, of doing close stuff. It's like, I don't really need to show, like, how do I put this? Like, I just am comfortable knowing that what I do is enough for me.
Yeah.
And everything else is like if you don't get to see fully what I do all the time, that's fine with me. Like, because I don't really need to show you like everything that I'm doing. And now, like, I feel like now that I feel like in my life personally, I'm in such like a better position now because I just really put my head down and was like just doing everything that I needed to do to get my life right and like business right and stuff like that. So now I like feel so much more comfortable like sharing stuff that I have or like, you know, because before, like, I don't know, I just never I care about the audience a lot and I care about that stuff, but like I don't really care if I'm getting 2 likes on something because it's something that I like, and if you don't like it, that's okay.
Well, it seems like you totally have like worked through like that like beginning phase of like the whole vintage thing, like when everyone really likes, and like some people really get hung up on that for a while. Like I know I was hung up on that for a while, and it just seems like you totally have to just process through like like that doesn't mean like you don't have to have like a pop in Instagram and like for people, a lot of people to know you. Like, dude, like that dude came up to me word of mouth, said like, "Oh, Valley Jack, yeah." I was like, "Yeah," like word. That was a word of mouth thing. You know what I'm saying? And like, not everything, and like that's like a culture thing. Yeah, it's like if you don't see someone on like the phone, it's like, dude, do they even exist anymore? It's like, well, yeah. Bro, so like, I just think you've just worked through those emotions well, like worked through that whole thing, because that could totally be like an easy thing to get hung up on. Yeah. And especially when like money's involved and like, you know, some of the livelihood is involved with it.
Bro, I'm telling you, some of the best people that I know that do that are extremely like, they don't talk a lot. Like you're not gonna see them doing much, but like, bro, behind the scenes they're doing so much. Like, that is just like. I mean, even, like, Felix especially is, like, someone that I'm just like, dude, like, unless you knew Felix and see what he does, bro, like, you would never know. Like, he like, that's just stuff you, like, little things you can learn from people. It's, like, not.
Yeah, I love that. I love that, though. I love people who, like, who just got it like that. Like,
bro,
you don't even notice, but, like.
You don't even need.
But, like, as soon as you start to, if you pull back the curtain a little bit, you're like, holy moly, bro.
Like, you don't really need to, like, not everyone needs to know what you're doing. That's why I always say the flex culture of vintage is so fucking crazy. Like, dude, like, bro, just, if you just hustle, just do your thing, man. Just like, you know, like as long as you have an Instagram and have some type of following on there, it doesn't matter if it's like 100 people and you can get into events. Just work, make money, stop like trying to find that crazy item. Like you're everything, all that stuff, you're gonna find that stuff eventually. Like just find stuff you think is cool. Yep. Like if you think something's cool, someone else probably thinks it's cool. That's why you sell clothes. Yep. It's like,
and if you think it's cool when no one else thinks it's cool, like
it's probably
show
cool.
them.
Yeah, it's probably even cooler.
Tell them, bro. Like tell them why you think it's cool, and like you'll probably get a lot of people on board. Like that's something I even learned too. Is like doing all like the videos and whatnot. Like 100% just like selling people like on the idea of like whatever item.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's. Sometimes it's not even about trying to sell clothes. It's about how you make people feel too. It's like,
totally.
Like
yeah.
how it's all, that's what I'm saying, it's so much deeper than just the clothes. It's like the essence of life, really. Just everything. Someone recently was talking to me about, like, if this is like my way to share with, it was like he does music, but he was like something like, if this is my way to like attribute or like help people in life is music, or like I make people feel good through music, then that's fine with me, or something like that. I was
right.
Like, I kept thinking about it. I was like, because I think a lot about, I'm like I know that I love doing this, and I'm like, I just like, I have this like feeling that I want to help people, like,
right.
and I know, and I feel like maybe I am helping people do, like, by helping them find clothes they like, which is cool.
For sure, yeah.
But I know that I have like maybe some bigger purpose, or which is why I do this stuff. I don't know.
No, yeah, totally. I think that shows like a lot of like where you're at kind of right now, which is kind of like my next question. It's like kind of like shed some light on like how like the previous years have looked for you, and like obviously you have to be 2024, and I know you touched on this a little bit, but like I guess like where are you at now with like your business, and like what are some of the things you are doing behind the scenes that you feel comfortable sharing, like, and like what are some of the ways that like what are some of your goals, I guess, for 2024, like some of the things you hope to do, kind of like just like where you're at like right now with everything.
I feel like right now I'm probably in the best position I've been in the whole time I've been selling clothes, and that's financially, mentally, physically. That's like, I feel like maybe, okay, talk about 3 things that are important to be, if you want to be, I don't know, having like, no one really talks about the mental stuff of like clothes. Is like if you're really doing this like full time, like there, any business really, like there's always going to be mental stuff, and keeping your body healthy through that. And like I feel like I've been doing all of that stuff, and like I go to like a therapist, just like I feel like, I don't really, sometimes I just want to talk. I don't really,
totally,
there's nothing like I really like, nothing bad necessarily going on in my life, but it's just like I don't want to put this like what I think about all the time on someone, so I'm just like, I'm gonna do that, and that helps me too. Like I'm able to like talk through a lot of stuff that goes on in my life, really. And then business is just, it's good. It's like I've enjoyed learning what just more about like people, and I'm trying to think. Let me get back on track with the question. But
you're good, bro.
Yeah, like in the like coming up though, I just like this year I just want to be, definitely, you can never be organized enough. Just staying on top of like all the things that people don't want to do, all the like fine little business things, all the like organization things, all those things that people don't want to do is what's going to make you great. It's what's going to make you better. And like you have to do these things to, become whatever you want to become. Is like, this is important, even though it's not fun. Yeah. And that's one thing that I'm just like, I know, like I just want to be more organized, and that's one thing next year that I'm going to make a point, is to just be like way more organized. And also just finding, I think next year, another thing I just want to find just more ways to make it more simplistic for me, and not as like I love traveling, I love finding stuff. I'm always going to be a picker, and I love to pick stuff. Like I've always liked to do that. But also just finding a way to like run the business as a business, and not like necessarily it's hard to, it's kind of a weird, like you can always go and find stuff and sell stuff, but like to make it more simple for me, I'm trying to find like place I can go, and I don't mind spending extra money, just if I like can get stuff consistently, and then have my like website, because I know I told you I got my Shopify stuff approved, so we're up now. But
that's fire.
Like all that stuff is, you know, just get my like website up and just continue to just like maybe build more focus maybe this year more on building my online presence rather than in person, because you know the clothes world is a pretty small world, honestly.
Right.
Like everyone like everyone really knows everyone for the most part, and like, you know, you just keep meeting more. I feel like the most like the best people are just people that just care the most, you know. It's just that's all it's about. It's like it's not like I don't know. I just care, like, and then just keep trying to, like, get better at my craft. That's all I can really ask for is, and just live my life the way I feel like I need to just keep, like, progressing as a person. Yeah. And just want, like, you know, I just want to get better. Like, that's really all next year is for me, is just, like, I feel like this year taught me how to be disciplined and how to just stay on top of everything and keep stuff organized. And then this year is going to be more like pushing like everything else, like pushing the limits. Yeah, maybe, totally. You know?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. I think that's I think that's like a super good way for anyone to view what this next year is. Yeah. You know, like what 2024 is. That's definitely some good goals. Where are you? Do you have any? I know the Ponce isn't doing their pop up anymore. Are you what's next? Like what is the next ecology pop up? Like, are you popping up anytime soon? Or
I'm doing a pop up. My homie Steve that runs Centerfold.
Okay. Yeah.
Doing one next year on like the 7th Saturday.
Okay.
At Lady Bird on the Beltline in Atlanta. Okay. Doing that one. And then definitely just like once I'm just trying to really get my website going and stuff this next year. Like, totally. So, like, I love doing pop-ups. It's so fun. And, like, I sell stuff online anyways. I just want to have, like, an immediate access for people, which, you know, is, it's huge. It's just important, especially when you have a good eye for stuff. And, like it doesn't even, I don't even know if I just want to sell clothes on there. I might do
Dude, I think there's a huge untapped market with, like, vintage furniture.
Yeah, that bro, crazy.
So a huge,
and it's just the eye for stuff. It's not, you don't even really like, you can look up and learn like more stuff about it or about things. It's just the eye. If you have the eye, bro, like the eye for stuff,
you kind of can't learn it.
Yeah,
it's just experience.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, bro, you can read upon vintage furniture, right? But it's like, no, like if we were to sell vintage furniture, right, we'd get it, like, would do whatever to it, make it look like nice, whatever, and then it's like, make like an Instagram video like how this would, like, why I love it, like this and that, like, and sell people on that, and like that's how you would do that, and like that that like that's that eye, bro, like that's crazy.
Do you I just think it's so, like, I just don't know if everyone, like, maybe everyone does have that ability to have the eye to see stuff like that, but I just don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know why I was born with something like that, or like I don't really know why I see things the way I do. Or,
no, it's totally weird. I mean, I think back to, like, bro, why do I like even clothes? Like, I remember being like going to like first grade or second grade, and like being hyped to wear my outfit. Yeah. Like, I remember like all the way back, like that joy, all the way back, like some Old Navy clothes, bro. Yeah. But I'd be like, bro, I'm hyped to wear this
Old Navy's crazy. I used to like,
dude, I used to shop at Old Navy. Dude, I remember being so hyped for that. So, like, when I think back, I'm like, nah, like, I really love clothes. I really always loved clothes for some reason.
There's like little things, and this is like goes along with you know, just the purpose thing. It's like there's little things that from your childhood, and I feel like you most know what you want to do when you're a child. Is when you're young, and you know, like like someone asks you like what you want to do when you're a child, it's like that's like low key probably what you're gonna do. Like,
yeah,
it's a crazy because when you really get into a purposeful like life, it's you think about things from your past or things from when you were young, and you're like, oh my god, like this was showing me like little spurts of things that like what I was meant to do or what I was supposed to do. Like, and there's things I think back when I was a child that I'm like, why did I like this like certain thing, or why like or like certain items of clothing, or like I always have just liked clothes, or you know, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just kind of like an unbiased kind of like view of it. It's like an influence free because you're a kid. Like, you don't know what people like. You don't like this guy doesn't like this thing. You're like, okay, well, like I don't care. Like, you like riding your bike as a kid, like because it's just fun to do. Yeah. Like, straight up, and like that's why. So I feel like that same just simple outlook on interests and stuff like that. Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people like lose touch with that. Yeah. And like that's why I think that's so like pure. Like, yeah, you can never. You have to always remain that way. Yeah, no, definitely. Like, definitely, I couldn't agree more. And that's like, I'm telling you, you get so much more out of life when you just are, like, happy with yourself or just happy being yourself. And just accept that not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to be, like, nice. And not everyone's going to be genuine. For sure. And that's okay. And you have to be okay with that, because if you live your whole life worrying about that stuff, then you'll never truly get to where you want to be, because you can't really let like other people determine anything that you're good at, you know? Totally. Like, yeah, definitely. I mean, there's a lot of things that are just subjective, honestly, in life. Like, a lot of things, like whether you're good at something or not good at something. Yeah. Like, I think like going to art school has made me realize that too. Yeah. It's like, bro, like I think about like who my professors are, right? Like, they're grading me on this like concept that I came up with, but it's like, bro, who are they to say like, exactly. You know, like it's just really, really interesting. But yeah, I think you have a really cool outlook on the way you do vintage. I think it's really unique. I think a lot of people don't share that. Thanks. You know, I think a lot of people get caught up on the whole, you know, what we talked about. But yeah, I think it's tight. That would be, I was thinking about when you said this, but that would be almost a good person to have on the podcast. What you said is Steve, whoever puts on Centerfold. Yeah, Steve. Yeah, I feel Steve's an interesting dude. I feel like he'd be fun to have on the podcast. Yeah, he would be. Is he the dude that's like missing teeth? No, that's Kenny. Oh, that's Kenny. I've met Kenny. Kenny's interesting too, though. I've met Kenny. Yeah, that's the one thing, bro. It's like, oh no, Southside Steve. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know him too. I know him better than Kenny, honestly. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Steve would be cool to have on here. Yeah, he would be cool. I feel like he would totally do it too. Yeah, definitely. If you can get all the Atlanta boys, dude, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's a lot of interesting people out of Atlanta coming up right now. Like, totally. Oh God, there's some real dogs out of Atlanta. Like, I'm not even playing. Like, dude, that's funny. You want to name drop any? Owen for sure. Oh, Milo Supply. 100%. Coming up. He's a legend in the making for sure. Felix, Internet Denim. Yep. Bro, some real dogs, bro. For sure. That's fire. Like, brothers to me, like, bro. It's just it's like the tenacity, bro. It's just like, they have it. And there's more. There's like definitely a lot more people, but like, yeah, those are just two people that I like for sure. That's that it. You just know, dude. That's fire. That's fire. We'll bet, dude. Anything else we should cover? I don't know. I think we're kind of. I mean, I don't know what we're at right now, but probably close to an hour. Yeah, that's cool. Bet. I bet. Well, appreciate y'all. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Jack Vtg. Yep. On Instagram. On IG. Toss my follow. Thank you for having me. Dude, of course, bro. Peace. Hell of a time. Bye.